Hello everyone, and welcome to your forecast for the full moon of August 10th, 2014, occurring at 18 degrees of Aquarius. Now, there's a lot going on in this chart. There's a lot of action and aspects to this full moon point. But the big thing that gets me right away is this Mercury, well, it's actually Mercury, Sun, and Lilith, all in a little stellium up here, a tight-knit conjunction. So Mercury, speaking, going, doing, in Leo, having fun, and many people are out having fun in August. This is a big vacation time. Many people go on vacation in August. So that could definitely be happening. And fun to be had with Leo energy. We're going to go party, we're going to go have fun. Full moon not only is a time to start releasing, but I think of it always as an enlightenment. It shines the light on things. You're going to see something. And it's in Aquarius. So of course you would want to see in your own natal chart where that's hitting, and you would want to see what planetary aspects it's making to your own natal chart. But secondly, just let's look at the fact of Aquarius. Ruler Uranus rules Aquarius. It's not quite of this earth. It's electricity, it's outer space, it's technology, it's the higher mind. Mercury is the lower mind, and Aquarius is the higher mind. So there's a lot of mental kind of energy happening here. Because Uranus rules in Aquarius, which is Uranus, same difference, it rules over social media, which is so prevalent in this day and age. Some of you may see something on Facebook and get some enlightenment, or something on Twitter, or one of the other YouTube even possibly. But YouTube, I think, is more in the realm of Neptune. But anyways, something could come electronically that's going to shed some big enlightenment. And with Mercury and Uranus, it definitely could be news is coming. People are on the move, people are going. This is move, let's go, let's do. In Leo, let's go have fun. Okay, so we've got that going on. Now, the ruler of Aquarius, of Uranus, as I just mentioned, is also sextiling the full moon point at 18 degrees of Aquarius. And it's making a trine to this sun up here, this Mercury, Sun, Lilith thing up here. Well, I know everybody, the Lilith is the ruthless woman, but I've really had come to know Lilith a little, I think, here. Because it was really hitting a lot of stuff in my chart, and I had that whole episode with going to jail and everything. And I just feel differently about Lilith anymore. Not so much the ruthless woman, but the defender of justice, to make things fair. Because really all Lilith just wanted to do was to make things fair. So there could be some enlightenment about things like that. Aquarius is also everybody. It's the whole group of everybody on the earth. It's like, the human race, rather than just the individual. It's out for everyone. It's what's best for everyone, for the group, for the whole. So maybe some of these, with this full moon, maybe we could have some kind of things happening with some of these places in the world that are experiencing such inequality and such turbulence, because Uranus is also turbulence. It's electricity, it's turbulence. It's not, it's jaggedy. Look at even the signs of Aquarius. When I see these jaggedy lines in somebody's aura like this, for those of you that don't know what the Aquarius symbol looks like, it's got these jaggedy lines here. And when I see that in somebody's aura, it usually means that that person is kind of messed up. I don't know, but they're not. An aura should be smooth, But we do need this. We need this kind of energy happening. It's electric, and so that's going on. So, we're going to have some electrifying news, or there could also be major electrical storms or something happening with these weather patterns that we've been having here, or lightning strikes and things like that. Just on a real down-to-earth level as well. But I wanted to, because Uranus, regardless if it's, it is making an aspect, it is a sextile to the full moon point, and trining this stellium up here, but Uranus is also the ruler of Aquarius, which is the full moon point. So it's important no matter what. Whether we're in that 18-degree orb or not, it's important. And Uranus is still in there with the south node here. And they're going to end up meeting here at some point. But they're close enough here. It's only a 5-degree orb here. So again, I may have said this before, but when stuff hits that south node, it's like people from your past lives come in. Or people from your past in this life, in this incarnation, could definitely be. But Uranus, if we just take out the past life out of the equation, Uranus, out of nowhere, unexpectedly, You know, didn't. Oh, I never expected to see you here. When you're least thinking about it, boom, there they're going to be. And again, you know, lots of people use social media to look up their old friends and people from the past. So that could be happening. But it could also be somebody that you've not met in this incarnation, that comes in as a, you know, it's a past life connection, and it comes in. And again, I want to say with Uranus and Aries and everything, it could be in and out quickly. You know, it's just like here today, gone tomorrow. You know, just popping in to say hello on our soul level, help you on your path, and off we go. The other thing that is happening, and is exact, I believe, the next day, is Saturn is squaring this. Saturn's going to square the Sun like the next day, which is, of course, the opposition to the full moon. So Saturn square again brings in the karmic element here. You know, well, you know, something like this. Okay, say here's one scenario. We're out having fun. We're going and doing things with Leo and everything, and we can't go because of an older relative needs to rest or can't make it, or something happens and I have to go take care of this older relative, or this. You know, Saturn is your elders, but it's also like your responsibilities and stuff like that. Or something happens at work, and I can't go on the trip, or I can't go to the amusement park or the concert or whatever is happening over here with all the Leo energy. So that could be a factor too, just on a real, you know, mundane level, real down-to-earth kind of a level. But usually Saturn, especially Saturn in Scorpio, is much deeper than that. You know, there's some deeper things brewing here, deeper things at work here. Saturn, again, I've said this before too, is the long-standing, the long-suffering, it can be too with the Saturn energy, the long-standing things that have been going on forever, the old paradigm, you know, the male, the patriarchy, squaring the Sun, Mercury, Lilith. So people are going to be speaking out about this stuff. And it could also be with full moon through technology, over the internet, through social media. We may find out even more stuff that's going on in places that we didn't know about, you know. This could, you know, with this Saturn thing, this could definitely be digging up the dirt, have it come out through social media. But not only that, Aquarius being that take the higher road, you know. The Aquarius energy is a more evolved energy, you know. So you might hear this, like at a lower vibration, you might hear this gossip or this dirty news that's going on, and it might just be a secret. And with Scorpio, it can even be that way. You know, let's keep it all secret. But Aquarius is like, no, we have to do what's good for the common people, for everybody. We have to do what's best for all. And they have like a high, they can have like a high, you know, not righteousness, but a high, not moral isn't it either, but just doing the right thing, not being caught in the muck. You know, they're an air sign, they're electric, they're not caught in the muck. They're kind of, you know, in the ethers. They're in the ethers, they're in outer space. You know, this is the energy of Aquarius. So, and of course, you know, through satellites is how a lot of this stuff all happens anyway. So that's out there floating around in outer space. I just keep seeing like that. Well, maybe there could be some kind of space thing that happens too. Keep that in mind. Maybe there'll be some kind of development, or maybe something will happen. You know, some kind of thing will fall from the sky. I mean, I don't know that. I'm not trying to be gloom and doom here, but I keep visioning this outer space and some kind of something out there floating around out there, like a satellite or something. Okay, so then the other thing is Chiron's involved here too in these teens. We've got 16 Chirons, 16 Uranus, okay, 16 Chiron in Pisces, 16 Uranus in Aries, 21 South Node. We've got all that stellium there. Then we've got Saturn over here. And then the moon, you know, these are all in these teen degrees. So anybody, if you have anything at those teen degrees, you know, right around the, you know, 15, 16, either side of 18, you know, maybe 3 to 5 degrees either side of 18, higher or lower, you'll be affected in many ways by this. You know, lots going on here. The other thing that's happening is Venus is just finishing up here in Cancer. It's at 28 degrees 06. It's going to change in a day or two. I can't, this thing is kind of small for me to see. Looks like the 20, this is the wrong, excuse me, the wrong thing here. I'm not sure when it's going to be. I can't really see in this book. It might be on the 15th, but it's going to be in a few days. Venus is going to move out of Cancer and into Leo. So we've had this Jupiter in Cancer for all this time. We've been in this Cancerian energy for a very long time, and it's kind of shifting gears now. And it's kind of, Cancers are cool, it's the nurture, it's the mother and everything, but it kind of can be like a wet blanket. How much are we going to be? And with its involvement with when Jupiter was Saturn, how are we going to be depressed and be a downer and be sad and be crying? It's tears and crying and all this stuff. Let's do the Leo energy. Let's do the fun vibe. Let's go out and have some fun. That's definitely. I've had, I think a lot of us have had enough of this already. Enough of this Cancer. I mean, everything has its place. Everything has its time. Everything has its place. It's important to be nurturing and caring to other people. That's an important thing in our lives. But, there's got to be a time to be more lighthearted. And that's really what all this Leo energy, and then Venus is going, when Venus and Leo, look out, man. This is going to be, if it wasn't party time already, here it comes. Party time, big time. Venus and Leo knows how to party, knows how to have fun. It can be a little extravagant, with Venus and Jupiter and Leo. It could be a little bit of extravagance. So you might want to watch the money. Don't go overboard on the spending. You're gonna have to pay the piper at some point. So that's an element, but it's kind of good. But always these karmic degrees, these 28, 29 degrees. These are these karmic degrees as well. And we can't escape the fact that there is an element of karmic energy going on, with Saturn being involved, the South Node being involved, and then the almost 29. And again, if you have a placement here in high degrees of Cancer, or anywhere, this is going to be aspected. Now, primarily, of course, Venus is love, and that's what we usually think of it as. But especially in Cancer, it can be family love. It doesn't have to be your lover. It can definitely be like sort of family love. Children love, those kind of things. And again, with this Saturn over here, I just kind of feel like there could be something coming up with elder people in the family. And it may just be there being a stick in the mud. And they don't want to, I keep visualizing like I'm at some kind of like a theme park or amusement park. And we can't go on the ride because whoever over here has to take a break or sit down, or they can't keep up with the action here. And I would say that would definitely be true. Saturn and Scorpio can't keep up with with the Leo action happening up here. So there's a little bit of a drag happening here with the Saturn hanging on. There's kind of like a little bit of a drag happening on. Then also, it's not really involving this full moon, but Mars is in Scorpio. As I mentioned before, that can be very, very sexual energy, but Mars in Scorpio also is a bad temper. You don't want to get somebody pissed off at you as Mars in Scorpio. I mean, and that's a violent aspect. They could be violent. It's like the Mars and Scorpio energies, when it just kind of bubbles up and you can't, you just can't control it, and it just comes out. So again, there's always those positive outlets. Let's do this, have sex, or let's go work out. That's a way to get rid of that Mars energy. Go run, hike, whatever the case may be. Diffuse it, because it can be. And when you look at these aspects, look at all these squares. That's all that's happening. Actually, Jupiter is squaring Mars. So highly sexual, highly charged. In Scorpio and Leo. Look out. Talk about combustible. This is some combustible energy here. So it's got to have some place to go. It's got to have somewhere to pop or blow, and it could be sexual. That would be the most positive, especially with, the Mars energy. But it also can just be like physical activity. You got to get it out. It could get excessive. But I'm kind of feeling like this is a stronger vibe here. Cooler heads are prevailing when Aquarius is here and Saturn is here. So, I mean, there's a lot of war and stuff going on in the world. So this could very much have to do with a lot of things happening with all the war that's happening everywhere. But I still feel, because it's in Aquarius and because we have Mercury involved, that it can be, it could come to a head, but maybe it's like, almost like if you're in a personal relationship. You fight, things come to a head, and then it's like, you have the cooling off period, or you have the time when you can calm down and talk about it or something like that. So it's almost like that. That's the kind of the vibe that I'm getting here regarding that. Besides all that, we've got Vesta and Ceres involved in this too, still with Mars. So what's Mars going to fight for? Mars is fighting for, it has Vesta and Ceres here. And these two have been sticking kind of close together, that Vesta and Ceres. But again, I feel like that's, the two of those together especially, is about nurturing, is a big time about food. And in this particular chart, it's in the 12th house. I know that's not relevant for everybody, and I usually leave the houses out of it. But it's something that could have been hidden, coming to light. Full moon always brings it to light, you know, and there's something that about food could be popping up again. Another thing about food could just be coming out. Or maybe not just by accident, by Mars energy, by action. You know, there could be some kind of action regarding this. This is all in a tight stellium too. Squaring Jupiter. I would say it's only really squaring Jupiter. These others are a little bit too high. But Jupiter amplifies whatever it comes in contact with. You know, Jupiter makes it bigger, expands, more, bigger. So it can work in a good way. You know, bigger, let's get it out there. But it could also, you know, when Jupiter's involved, especially with squares, especially Leo and Scorpio, that's a lot of pride going on. You know, sometimes things can get blown up out of hand because when pride gets in the way, when ego gets in the way. And Jupiter and Leo definitely could be, you know, egos getting, you know, out of control, expanding the ego. So in that case, again, too, well, diffusing it through physical activity, but having fun, more play, more play. Don't be so serious. Don't take yourself so serious, you know. Don't take situations so seriously. I mean, and that could just be good advice in general, you know. If things weren't taken so seriously, we wouldn't even be in wars and things like that. But bring it down here into our personal relationships, because we've got Sun, Mercury, Venus. These are all inner planets. These are all personal planets. I'm not sure Jupiter's, jury's out on that. It's right on the border between the inner and outer planets, but these are personal planets. So this is more personal relationship, and Moon is definitely a personal planet. But again, it's like the, you know, the bigger picture, the higher consciousness. What's best for all? What's going to happen, work for all involved? The other thing that's happening is Mars is sextiling Pluto over here. It's not showing up on my aspectarian grid here thing, but it is. At 8 and 11, I would say that is definitely a sextile. So sextiles are always a way to diffuse energy too. Trines and sextiles. But I think sextiles, more than any, are like, well, here's an option. But no doubt about it, you know, our world is changing. And that's what this Pluto-Uranus square has all been about. Now, Mars sextiling Pluto, maybe we can take action and do something for change, for big change, wide sweeping change with Pluto, in a way that's not so confrontational, not so, because a sextile is, you know, I want to say, where's our common ground? This is what I want to say. Let's find our common ground. What can we both agree on, and what can we both put a lot of energy into? Because Mars packs a wall up. Mars brings a lot of energy to whatever it touches, or wherever it's transiting through, or whatever it's going through. Again, you know, I think of it as sexuality, Scorpio, number one. Mars is sexuality. That's the number one thing that I think of it as. But there are so many ways, and Mars is just energy. It's Kundalini. You know, I would say Kundalini for sure. So that, you know, through you know, the higher mind, yoga and meditation, doing our breathing, our Kundalini breathing, maybe that's going to help diffuse some of this energy. So that's another possibility. So, you know, there's a whole lot going on, but I think fun is the answer. While we've got this stuff in Leo, let's have some fun. And that's a great way to blow off steam. You know, all my years of my family owning the bar, you know, you go in, you have a few drinks, you blow off some steam. You know, you don't have to, everything doesn't have to be all serious all the time. It has to be so regimented. And that's what it's been with this, you know, all these serious planets being aspected. Everything's kind of regimented. So Leo's just like, let's kick off our shoes, let's go have some fun. It's playtime. Let's have some fun and play. Let's be kind to each other. Let's have fun together. Let's do things together. Not the pack. Is it a lion pack or a lion pride, I think? Whatever, but the whole group of us together. You know, let's do this all together. Love stuff could be coming up. Karmic love stuff could be coming up. Hopefully some changes with Mercury that we can talk about it. I don't know if you can hear, but there's some major thunderstorms going on. And I think I'm gonna wrap this up before our power goes out or before I get struck by lightning or something. But of course, before we go, I want to remind you to check out some of my other channels. The VV Creative Shorts is a keyboard player, but it also has some original music that I did, and I would love to see be recorded by other artists. Love to hear how that would turn out, others' interpretation. And then secondly, of course, my learning songs for kids. And both of these you can get off my main channel or my other channels over here, which has tons of songs that I wrote for learning, teaching kids to, like read and write and count and things like that. And then there's, of course, the Green Glen Gang, which I would love to get out there. And I have my course, how I did the Green Glen Gang in 3D. I've been working on them and some polymer versions of the Green Glen Gang, and they help kids learn about diversity, getting along with different kinds of tribes or clans in the case of the Green Glen. And they also are going to teach kids about eating healthy and taking care of the environment. But also on the kids page, I have a couple holiday songs that I've written, and I would anybody looking to record a holiday album, a Christmas music, and I have a New Year's song, I would be delighted as that too as well. If somebody would want to record some of my songs, I would really be thrilled to have that happen. And then of course we cannot leave without mentioning Tarot in the Modern World, available on Amazon. Thank you guys all for buying it and liking it and reviewing it on Amazon. I see there are some reviews. And I also want to thank everybody for all your donations. I've been getting some pretty good donations lately, and it makes it really worthwhile to continue to do these videos. And it doesn't take much, and if you can afford whatever you can afford, it doesn't have to be a huge amount. Also, thank you for liking and sharing and commenting on my videos. I've had a lot of subscription jumps too. I'm really getting up there in the subscriptions and subscribing, so I really appreciate that. And remember that you are love and beauty incarnate, and I'll speak to you soon.